Hello and welcome to Smartboard training. My name is Dennis Schatz. Today you will learn what a Smartboard is and how it can greatly enhance your meetings, your trainings, and your presentations. Historically, when we were presenting or training, we had to use blackboards, whiteboards, and flip charts. All of these methods had several limitations. Firstly, amount you could write on was limited to the size of the board itself. If you ran out of space, you had to either erase or flip between the pages. Secondly, the delivery method was limited only to the local audience, since even if you would have someone participate over the phone, they couldn't see what you were writing or drawing. Smartboard is here to correct all of these shortcomings and bring you to delivery to a whole new level. Smartboard is completely interactive, which means you could either use a provided pen or your finger to interact with it. This level of interaction captures participants' attentions and facilitates the engagement. Another powerful feature of Smartboard is the ability to mark up the content you're working with. You can draw an arrow or circle specific objects to draw attention to it. These actions will focus your audience on the topic at hand. You will even be able to save your annotations for sharing for the future review. The markup feature also works with Microsoft Office applications and can also be saved for future reference. Now we will go over the hardware features of the Smartboard. The Smartboard contains 4 webcams which are located in the 4 corners of the screen. Here, 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 and here. The webcams are responsible for detecting the movement of a pen or your touch of the finger. Also, the webcams are complemented by the reflective tape all over the circumference of the screen. Please make sure not to put any pens or any other objects on a reflective tape so it would not hinder the performance of the actual Smartboard. At the left bottom corner of the board, you will find a control panel. A control panel consists of the volume buttons, the mute button, which will turn red if it's currently in a mute mode, and the video input button. The video input should be automatically set to HDMI 3 PC and it should stay that way. Below the input button, you will find a power button. It will turn green when the board is currently on and red when the board is currently in a standby mode. Below the power button, you will find a status light. There will be 3 different modes to the status light. Red mode means your laptop is currently turned off. The green blinking light means your laptop is currently on but you have not logged into it yet. And green lit light is the one you would like, is the one that means you have currently logged onto the laptop and is fully integrated with the board and ready for use. At the bottom you will find the infrared control sensor. It will work with the remote control, but you will not need to use it because it's used only for troubleshooting mode. In the bottom center of the board, you will find a color select module and the eraser. Color select module consists of several buttons. The first one is the help button. By pressing this button, the window will pop up on the screen, which will allow you to link to the help system for the Smart. The second button will be a virtual keyboard. By pressing this button, you will be able to tap on the keyboard on a screen and enter information this way. However, please note that this is not the most efficient way to enter the information, and if a lot of it needs to be typed in, it will be preferred that you have another person at the laptop who will enter this information for you. The 4 color ink buttons are going to be next to it right here, and the light will light up whenever they are ready for use above it, displaying to you which color is currently being chosen. The right click button is on the right in here. Whenever you would like to perform a right click by tapping on a board, you would press this button and the next tap on the board will automatically signify the right click. After that, the system will immediately switch to the left click tapping. And finally, the orient button should be used only by the technicians in order to perform calibration of the screen. Smartboard comes with 2 pens which are magnetically held on the board. The board will recognize when the pen is picked up and will automatically load any appropriate settings to prepare for the markup and data entry. When the markup is complete, the pen should be returned to the board. To start working with the Smartboard, you will first need to start the laptop connected to it. Just lift up the lid of the laptop and turn on the laptop by pressing the power button in the right top corner. Alternatively, you will be able to press the button on the docking station itself. Please note that you will still have to use a PIV card, which is HRSA PIV card, in order to log into the laptop. The PIV card holder is located in the left front portion of the laptop. When your laptop is logged in and ready to go, to start with the Smartboard, all you have to do is press the power button once. You will notice it will turn green and a Smartboard will be ready to go. When you are done, to turn off the Smartboard, all you have to do is just press the power button one more time and it will turn red to go to the standby mode. In order for the Smartboard to work properly, Smart Meeting Pro software is installed on a specifically designated laptop which is connected to the Smartboard. That means you should not use any other laptop with a Smartboard for it to work properly. When the machine is loaded up and a Smartboard is ready to go, you'll notice the Smart Meeting Pro software installed here on the left side. You can interact with the Smartboard by either using keyboard and mouse provided with the laptop or by using pen or finger directly with the Smartboard. Let's take a look at the Smart Meeting Pro software components. At the top, you will see 3 buttons for the 3 main modes of the software. The desktop mode switches the software to show computer desktop, so you will be able to interact with the desktop, the start bar, and applications like on a regular computer. The whiteboard button brings you to the whiteboard area where you will be able to make notes and work with the imported files. We'll cover the topic a little later. Finally, the organizer button will allow you to quickly operate on open whiteboard pages and any other applications. The very bottom button in here is called the reset room. We will cover that at the end of this topic. In the middle of the toolbar, you will find tools for markup such as selection tool, pen tool, eraser tool, and capture tool. Bottom of the toolbar contains additional features such as the ability to move the toolbar from left or right side, ability to collapse the toolbar for greater view, and most importantly, ability to invoke additional programs for easy access, such as Internet Explorer, PowerPoint, Word, Excel, and additional features of the Smartboard. Now we will start to discuss a new very powerful feature of a Smartboard called the Whiteboard feature. Remember all those times when you used to use a whiteboard or a flip chart? Well, this is it, only way more powerful. Let me explain you what I mean. Whenever we pull up the whiteboard feature on a Smartboard, by pressing the whiteboard button right here in the left top corner, you'll have a grid right over here, and you will also have a zoom ability and also ability to preview different areas. I'll explain that in a moment. On the left side, you have expanded features which will allow you to annotate and to write whatever you would like. Let's go through them one by one. And the left top corner one is the pan feature. Pan feature will allow you to move around the whiteboard, and here comes the best part about it. What you see on a screen here is not limited to everything you could have. So for example, if I annotate something by lifting up the pen and I go ahead and draw something in here and I need more space, all I have to do is tap on a pen and then simply move it to the side. I have more space now. So that's what the pen feature is about. The next feature is a select feature. Whenever I press that, it will allow me to select the object. So for example, if I tap on this guy, right over here is the object, which I will be able to either rotate it by pressing on that low dot, or I could click on the down arrow and choose a whole bunch of options about that object. Next, after that, we have a pen feature. Whenever you click on a pen, you will have several different options available to you. You have 4 different colors, which could be chosen either by tapping on them, or you could choose them from here, from a color select module. And you will be able to choose the thickness of your line. You even have 2 different types of highlighters available to you here. So for example, if I choose the biggest thickness and I say I want a green, so when I start to actually draw it, it comes out like that. The next one is the eraser. Eraser will allow you to choose between 3 different types of erasers, and whenever you choose any one of them, depending on larger or smaller, depending on what type it is, then you will be able to just go ahead and erase either one part or everything, or just leave this little piece, whatever you would like. Shapes would be our next section. Shapes will allow you to add different types of shapes to the Smartboard whenever you need to work with them to annotate or for whatever other purpose. So for example, this is our circle. What I can do is just draw a circle, or I could have a square, and they can overlap on top of each other, as you notice. Rounded square, pentagon, stars, which you could make either small or larger. Check marks, you could drag them, make it larger. Red X's. And you have a whole bunch of lines, including a basic line, arrow line, dotted arrow line, two-headed arrows, and the connector type. After that, well, let's move it a little bit further so we have a little bit more space. What I can do is I can click on a pen and move it a little bit away. We have more space now. Please note how in zoom area it still shows everything that I want, and I can just simply tap on that particular area and it will move into that particular section. Next to that we have text. Text will allow you to type in the particular text. So if I would like to, let's say, type a text in here, what I could do is just simply click over there and just start typing directly inside of it. The way I would do it is by selecting the keyboard, virtual keyboard button on the color select module. And when I do that, I can just start typing whatever I would like. And it appears directly over there. When I'm done, I can close the keyboard and close that, and here's my text. One of the biggest powerful features of the whiteboard mode is the gallery. Gallery contains within itself a whole bunch of different templates that you will be able to use for your purposes whenever you actually want to mark something up. Let me explain you what I mean. So for example, if I click over here on the gallery, it opens up something like this, and then I will be able to click on a gallery and say show stock content. That shows me everything on all of the other categories that we have. For example, if I choose, let's say, human resources templates, I click in here and then I click on one of these guys, just simply drag it out, and voila! I have a whole setting already preset for me. And what I can do is just simply start marking it up to how I would like to. For example, write a test on it. There you go. You could zoom in and zoom out if you would like to as well, out of something like that. Finally, you have undo and redo button. If you did something that you would like to undo, all you have to do is just tap on undo, and you could keep tapping on it, and it will remember more than one action that you went back, or redo to keep putting it back if you would like to. Whenever you're creating a content in a whiteboard mode, you're not limited to just one page. Like when we're flipping our flip chart, we still have multiple pages here as well. They're displayed right over here at the bottom. So if you would ever like to add any additional pages, all you have to do is just press this button that looks like a white sheet of paper with a plus next to it. When you do that, additional page gets automatically added, and it shows you the options for that page, particularly ability to insert additional pages, clone the page, which is very useful if you would like to make some additional changes to the page that you already had with some markup, or delete the page if you have no longer need for it. Now, what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to mark it up like I wanted to with whatever other content that I wanted to. It becomes particularly useful whenever multiple people are presenting. So for example, person number 1 could be on the first page, person number 2 on a second page, and person number 3 on a third page. And yes, in case if you have a question, the information can be copied from one page to another by drag and dropping it. So the next page that I have is the ability to be able to add additional pages or scroll back and forth in between them by pressing the arrow buttons right over here. If you would like to zoom in or zoom out on a page, you will be able to press the pluses and the minus buttons in here. And this allows you to zoom out to the default setting. Now we will discuss the organizer feature. It can be invoked by pressing the organizer button here in the left top corner of the screen. Whenever it is invoked, you will notice two biggest tabs. One's called Pages and another one's called Applications. The purpose of a Pages tab is to show you overall what kind of pages in a whiteboard mode you have. And it will also allow you to perform basic functions with it, particularly reorganization, which helps out a lot. So for example, if I want to take the page number 2 and I want to move it between 3 and 4, all I have to do is just drag it in there and it will go ahead and move it around. The secondary tab is the Applications tab. It will be used more rarely than the Pages, however, nonetheless, it will show you any of the applications besides the whiteboard mode that you currently have running. Right now I have only Microsoft Link running on it. If you have more than one screen available to you, then it will show you what kind of screens you have currently available, and it will allow you to identify them. Now we will teach you how to control the smartboard using your finger. To select an object, all you have to do is single tap it with your finger. To open the object or activate it, you double tap it, which will simulate double click. To move an object, simply press the object and drag it to the new destination location, like this. To zoom in or zoom out on an object or a particular page, you would usually need two hands. So if I would like to do it, I just press both of the fingers and then I either move them apart or move them closer to each other. They will provide me with zooming in and zooming out features. To rotate an object, you will still need two hands. You'll need to select an object, and then after that, just take two fingers and move it in a clockwise or counterclockwise fashion. One of the biggest advantages of Smartboard is its ability to work with Microsoft Office applications. You will be able not only to open application files within Smartboard, but also mark them up and even save them to be sent for review later for other people. Let's start with Microsoft PowerPoint. Whenever I will open up the presentation by double tapping on it, it comes up in a regular design mode. You will be able to make changes in the design mode as you wish. For example, we can pick up the pen and just simply start making the markups as we would like. However, where the Smartboard really shines is in a full presentation mode. In a full presentation mode, you will have this control panel in the left bottom corner of your screen. It contains several buttons within. The first button allows you to exit out the full presentation to go back to the design mode. The second button shows you the slide you're currently on out of total amounts of slides, which means I'm on the first slide right now out of 8 slides in this presentation. The third button contains options. When I tap on it, you will be able to choose different types of colors and thicknesses of colors for the annotations purposes for the particular presentation. You will also have an additional button right here, which will allow you to include additional empty slides within if you would like to go ahead and make additional notes, which is not necessarily related to the slides that you currently have in the presentations. Think of it like a little notepad that you will be able to include within the presentation, and it will be saved inside of that presentation for later purposes so you could write and jot down your notes. To the right side over here, you'll have the two buttons which will allow you to scroll to the next and previous slides. Next, we'll discuss Microsoft Word interaction with Smartboard. Whenever you would like to start a Word document, for example, double tap on this, the application starts and a Word document appears. What you see first of all in front of yourself, which has just disappeared, is the interactive keyboard which appears, which we'll be able to use in just a second. First of all, let me show you the markup features. Whenever you're inside of the Word document, you could simply lift up a pen, and then you'll be able to mark up whatever you would like within itself. Then later on, these markups could be saved with the document and sent to the other party for the review. Now, if I would like to make a little bit deeper type of changes, I will be able to click on a particular area where I would like to make a change. For example, let's say if I wanted to add a word information, then I will click right over here, and then the virtual keyboard appears. I tap on a virtual keyboard, which is being shown like this. And this is the best part. All you have to do is just simply write with your finger what you would like to add in there. Wait for it, and it converts to the word. Then all I have to do is just simply press insert, and voila, the word is right there. Let's see how Smartboard interacts with Excel. When you open up an Excel file by double tapping on it, you'll pop up something like this, and then you'll be able to make a similar markups as you were doing inside of Microsoft Word. When I lift up the pen, you will see the color wheel appear right here. So if I press on a pen on the top, it'll allow me to select color. When I tap on that, you'll notice all of the different colors and highlighters that I will be able to choose. So let's say I'm going to choose a green highlighter, and then I'm just going to simply highlight the particular area. That is going to be recorded with the file, and it can be saved and sent to the remote party as well. In addition to that, I will be able to make changes to the specific text within as well if I would like to. So for example, if I would like to change the New England Seafood Cannery, what I could do is I simply tap in there, double tap to open it up, and then select it like I would do with the mouse by dragging it. Click on the familiar virtual keyboard, and then type in the name of the new supplier. For example, Exxon. Wait until it recognizes it, then click on Insert, an accent appears. Let's close this down so you guys can see it right there. Click away and automatically adjusts the row to show the accent supplier. Finally, I would like to adjust, let's say, the width of a particular columns. How would I be able to do that? Well, if you take a look at the column C here, the product number is going to be cut off in here. So what I can do is I can adjust the width of it by simply double tapping on that line between C and D. And then I automatically adjust the column to the appropriate width of the widest entry within that column. Finally, let's take a look how the Smartboard interacts with PDF files. Most of our computers will have Acrobat Viewer on them to be able to open and preview PDF files. The problem with that is that it will not be able to support any markups. So if I open up an Acrobat Viewer, I will not be able to mark up the document and save those markups with it. For that, the Smart Meeting Pro introduced the PDF Viewer application, which will automatically open up when it's properly installed on a computer. For example, let's take a look at this. We have a licensed PDF file sitting here on the desktop. When I double click on it, it will open up in PDF Viewer, not Acrobat Viewer. And in PDF Viewer, you will be able to see the same PDF, but you will also be able to make markups to it. For example, if I lift up my pen, I will be able to choose particular color from here. Let's say I want a green color and I want a little bit wider thickness. And then I will be able to make my markup. So I would like to say this, change. Okay? Then later on, I will be able to save the document and go ahead and email it to other parties. However, please remember that the way the software works is that when you save the PDF document, these markups will become permanent part of it and cannot be removed after that. That's why we always suggest that you have two versions of PDFs, one unmarked and another one is marked to be ready to be sent to the other parties. If you would like to use an external flash drive or hard drive with your laptop, all you have to do is insert it from a right side and wait until the installation is complete. When it says your device is ready to use, you will be able to use your device. Please don't forget to remove the flash drive when you are done using it. Finally, I would like to discuss with you the Reset Room feature. This great feature allows you to automatically close all of your open documents, applications, and log out of your account on a computer so it will be ready for the next person with the next meeting to log into computer and continue with their presentation. So when you're done and ready, all you have to do is just simply tap on Reset Room and it will ask you if you would like to log off the computer when a meeting ends or email the meeting notes if you have any to other clients. So you just tap OK if you don't have anything to email and watch the computer who will go ahead and log off and get machine ready for the next meeting. We hope you enjoyed the Smartboard training video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.